A cold wind pushed angry clouds across the night sky. The little coastal town, famous for its quiet research center, felt even smaller under the storm. Street lamps flickered as rain began to fall in fast, sharp lines. In the last house on Harbor Road, Dr. Aaron Malik sat alone, checking sensor data on his tablet. He had planned an early night. Instead, he heard 3 rapid knocks on his front door. Soft, but urgent. Aaron stood, surprised. Few people visited after midnight, and certainly not in weather like this. He crossed the living room, past the sleeping holoscreen, and opened the door. Lightning flashed. In that silver light, he saw a tall woman with silver hair and charcoal gray skin. Her long coat dripped water, and in her arms she held 2 very small children wrapped in blue blankets. Their faces were pale, their eyes red like glowing embers. Yet they seemed calm, Valora, Aaron whispered. His mind rushed back 6 years to the hidden laboratory orbiting Jupiter, where he had worked beside an alien refugee who called herself Valora of the Nocturne clan. She had vanished during the evacuation messages, no ship logs. He had believed she was dead, yet here she stood. Valora nodded. Her voice was soft but steady. "These are yours, human," she said, using the respectful title she had given him long ago. "We need shelter." Aaron glanced up and down the empty road. Rain beat on the porch roof. If any neighbor looked out a window, they would see it all. The strange woman, the eerie children. Fear or gossip could spread faster than the storm. He stepped aside. "Come inside, quickly," she entered. Careful not to bump the sleeping twins. Aaron closed the door and locked it. The evening's calm was gone, replaced by rushing thoughts and questions. He guided Valora to the sofa. She sat, holding both children like treasures. Aaron knelt in front of her. "Start from the beginning," he said gently. "Are you alive? Why are you here? And are they really mine?" The last question felt impossible, yet he could see fragments of his own face in the twins' soft features. Valora lowered her head. "I survived, but not easily. My people found me after the station explosion. There was a trial. They called me traitor for working with humans. I was banished on a deep-range cruiser. During exile, I carried new life. Hair, half nocturne, half human. Your blood saved them when I was sick. Now our clan hunts them." Thunder shook the house. Aaron's chest tightened. "Why would they hunt children?" "They are proof," Valora answered. "Proof that 2 old enemies can share one heart. The clan leaders fear that proof. If the twins grow strong, the war can end." "Certain, Captain. Patience. First we dry you off and warm the babies. Then we plan." He hurried to the hallway closet, grabbed towels, and returned. Valora accepted them gratefully. The twins relaxed as their blankets were patted dry. "Do they have names?" Aaron asked. "Lyra and Orion," Valora replied. "Names from your sky." Aaron felt a swell of pride. "Perfect. I'll set up the guest room. It has a cradle. My sister left here when she visited with her kids." Valera's eyes glistened. "You kept it?" "I never throw away good furniture," he joked gently, though a knot of emotion grew in his throat. Minutes later, twins lay in the cradle, lulled by soft hums from Aaron's old music player. Rain drummed against the windows. But inside the lamplit room was peaceful. Aaron and Valora sat at the kitchen table with mugs of hot tea. Steam rose between them like a fragile truce. Aaron opened a datapad. "We need to run medical scans. Tomorrow, their metabolism might shift quickly. You said the clan will come? How soon? Days? Maybe hours?" she answered. "My ship left a silent wake, but hunters trace ion trails. They will not speak. They will seize." Aaron tapped a map of the town's defenses. Earth's defense network has satellites overhead, but they'll treat all nocturne craft as enemy. If we alert them, they may fire before asking questions. Alora shivered. "I will not risk direct violence. That is why I crossed space alone." Aaron's mind spun, balancing science, law, and new fatherhood. Yet one truth felt clear. Lyra and Orion deserved a chance to choose their own future. "We'll give them that chance," he said, voice firm. "No clan, no government, no fear. We'll decide for them." Valora reached across the table and squeezed his hand, a gesture she had learned from humans. Thank you, Aaron, Malik. Outside, the storm began to form. Morning sunlight slipped through thin clouds and touched the quiet town. Inside Dr. Aaron Malik's small house, the kitchen smelled of fresh toast and herbal tea. Valora stood by the window, her silver hair glowing like moonlight caught in day. She rocked Lyra and Orion, who stared at the new world with wide, curious eyes. Aaron entered, tying the laces of his worn sneakers. The lab team is ready, he said. We'll move fast. Keep everything low-key. He glanced at the twins. They slept well? They did, Valora answered. Their dreams were calm. That is rare for our kind. Her voice carried relief and a worry she tried to hide. Aaron nodded. We'll check their health first, then we'll think about the bigger storm. He carried a travel crate filled with soft blankets and toys. Valora gently set the twins inside. They blinked and made soft chirps, a happy sound Aaron had never heard from any human baby. The secret entrance, the Coastal Research Center, sat on a cliff above gray waves. From the front it looked like a quiet museum, but Aaron led Valora to a side door hidden between storage sheds. His friend Maya Chen, a microbiologist with bright eyes and bright ideas, waited there with two other scientists. Omar and Imani. You said urgent and unusual, Maya whispered. I can see that. Valora lifted the crate's lid. Maya's eyes widened at the children's crimson irises, but she kept her smile gentle. Hi there, little ones. Aaron spoke softly. Team, this is Valora of the Nocturne clan. The twins are Lyra and Orion. They share my DNA plus Nocturne traits. They need quiet tests. Omar tilted his head. You trust her? With my life, Aaron said. That was enough. The team guided them into Lab 3B, a room lined with scanners and padded medical pods. Thick curtains closed to block any view from hallway cameras. Running the numbers, placed Lyra in one pod, Orion in the other. Soft lights scanned their skin, measuring heartbeats, blood chemistry, and neural activity. Data filled the screens like fast-moving rivers. Look at that oxygen efficiency, Imani whispered. Their blood binds almost double what ours does. Energy spikes every 6 hours, Omar added. Metabolism cycles faster. Maya pointed to a graph of brainwaves. They show mirrored patterns, telepathic synchrony. Valora watched, hands clasped tight. It happens in rare twins of my people, but never this strong. Aaron compared DNA strands. Human codes in blue, Nocturne codes in silver. Where they met, new green markers glowed. Hybrid stability looks solid, he said. There. Healthy, better than healthy. Relief washed over Valora. She bowed her head. Thank you. Aaron touched her shoulder. We'll keep them safe. That's a promise. Unwelcome attention. The peace broke when the wall intercom buzzed. Clipped. Voice sounded. Dr. Malik. Security control. Earth Defense Liaison wants word. Something about unusual shuttle traces outside orbit. Aaron's gut tightened. Hunters. Or worse, nervous officers with big guns. Tell them 10 minutes, he replied, trying to sound calm. He turned to Valora. Defense may already suspect. If they learn the twins exist, they might claim custody. Shoot first, Valora whispered, remembering her banishment trial. Fear sharpened her red eyes. Maya walked over. We'll stall them. Send oxygen tank logs. Blame a ferry drone. By time, Omar nodded. And if they demand inspection, we'll move the kids through the service tunnel. Aaron looked at his team, human scientists ready to risk careers. For 2 alien human infants. Pride warmed his chest. Thank you, all of you. This is why human hope matters. Parents stand. The next call came sooner than expected. 2 Earth Defense officers, Captain Reyes and Lieutenant Brooks, entered Lab 3B. Their gray uniforms contrasted the bright charts on the wall. Reyes scanned the room. Dr. Malik, we track a Nocturne cruiser shadowing our orbit. Explain. Aaron stood tall. A single refugee ship landed last night. No threat. My guest seeks medical help. Brooks spotted Valora. His hand drifted to his sidearm. That's a vampire, sir. Laura raised her palm slowly. I mean no harm, Lyra fussed, sensing tension. Her small cry filled the lab. Reyes frowned, and the children. Patients, Aaron replied. Minors, under my care. That makes them Earth defense business, Brooks said. Aaron stepped between Brooks and the pods. They are living proof of peaceful union. You draw weapons, you break that proof. His voice was firm, yet even. Give them a chance to. Choose their path when they grow. Isn't that Earth's creed? Reyes hesitated. He looked at Maya, Omar, Imani each, one silently standing with Aaron. Science over fear. Brooks lowered his hand. Reyes exhaled. 48 hours. After that, High Command will demand a full briefing. Aaron nodded. 48 hours is fair. The officers left, tension trailing behind them like smoke. Discovering the gift, silence settled again. Valora moved to the pods, brushing Lyra's hair. Why did you risk angering your own people? She asked Aaron quietly. Because hope needs. Defenders, Aaron said, and because they're my children? At that moment, both twins opened their eyes. Golden rings formed around the crimson centers, new color blooming like sunrise. The graphs on their screens pulsed, soft warmth, spread through the room like standing in gentle sunlight after cold rain. Imani touched her chest. Do you feel that calm? Maya's shoulders relaxed, like a peaceful wave. Valara's mouth parted. It's an empathic field, she whispered, but stronger than any clan elders. The twins cooed together. The warmth grew, easing every anxious heartbeat. Even the air felt lighter. Aaron realized what this meant. They can soothe fear, he said. A natural bridge between species. Omar smiled. Imagine this power on a battlefield, no guns. No blood, just peace. Valara's eyes shone. The clan leaders will want to control it. Then we must show them another way, Aaron said. Helu Crixon turned slowly. Then the prophecy may come true, unless we act. Prepare the ground unit. Take them back before they bond too deeply with the humans. At the lab back on Earth, in the underground lab, Aaron sat at a table filled with open files and blinking screens. Maya handed him the latest scan reports. Heartbeat normal. Temperature rising slightly, but nothing dangerous, she said. They're growing. Fast. Aaron looked over at Lyra and Orion. They were asleep in their cradle, faces calm and innocent. Their golden red eyes now shone more brightly with each day. Their minds were learning fast, mimicking sounds, reacting to emotions. Valora stood. By the door, arms crossed, sensing something beyond the walls. They are coming. Aaron looked up. You feel them? Valora nodded. The clan sent Crixon. He's not like me. He believes only in strength and silence. Maya frowned. What does he want? To take the children back to the old world, Valora answered. Raise them as tools, not as people. Aaron slammed a hand gently on the table. Not happening. Tension as morning came. The town began to feel different. People whispered in streets, some pointing at the sky where strange lights blinked. Rumors spread an alien ship, secret children, danger coming. At a local diner, 2 young men argued. I saw it with my own eyes, military trucks heading toward the lab. One said. The other replied, I heard it's just a science project. Why panic? Back at the lab, a knock on the back door surprised everyone. It was Mrs. Keller, an old neighbor of Aaron's. She brought a basket of fruit and a folded note. I don't understand what's going on, dear, she said kindly. But we're behind you. The whole street is. Aaron smiled, touched. Thank you. It means more than you know. Inside the basket was a hand-drawn sign. Protect the little ones. Beeped through the lab's control screen. Omar looked up from his station. A coded message is being broadcast from orbit. No Earth signature. Want me to play it? Aaron nodded. The screen flickered. A dark room appeared, and Commander Crixon's face filled the display. I am Crixon of the Nocturne. I demand the return of Valora and her hybrid children. You have 24 hours to surrender them. If you refuse, Earth will no longer be safe. Then the screen went black. The room stayed silent for a moment. They're declaring war, Maya said. No, Valora replied. They are testing your fear. If Earth shows weakness, they will attack. Aaron stood up. Then we must show strength not with weapons, but with unity. Plan of defense. Amani laid out a town map. There are tunnels under the research center. If needed, we can move the twins to the cliffs, then get them onto a boat, Omar added. I've hacked the satellite feeds. We'll know if they drop any units. Maya handed Aaron a data pad. Here's the report for Earth Command. If we don't send it by midnight, they'll come looking.
Barrett
Looked at Valora. If we go public, everything changes. Valara's voice was soft. Then let it change. The twins must not be raised in fear. They must live free. Aaron clicked the send button. Done. Small but strong later that night, Aaron walked to the cradle. The twins were awake watching him. Picked up Orion, then Lyra. Both smiled and reached for his face. They know, Valora said behind him. They feel your worry, but they are not afraid. Aaron nodded. They're braver than I am. They are both, she said. Human and nocturne. Born from war, but carrying peace. Just then, a soft sound filled the room. It was a hum, like a lullaby, but not from any speaker. The twins were making the sound together. The glowing aura gently spread through the room, calming, warm, safe. Maya entered and gasped. They're doing it again. That peaceful field. ... I feel it, Aaron smiled. This is why we protect them. Not because they're powerful, but because they make us better. Before dawn, thick clouds covered the sky. Wow. The ocean looked darker than usual, and even the wind seemed quiet, as if the world was holding its breath. Inside the underground lab, Aaron stood near the window, staring at the sky. His hands were tight around a cup of cold tea. Valora walked beside him. She wore her long black coat again, her face calm but her eyes alert. They're coming today, she said quietly. Aaron nodded. Yes, I feel it too. The others were already awake. Maya, Omar, and Amani were busy checking scanners, updating satellite feeds, and packing medical supplies. The twins were asleep, glowing softly in their cradle. The peaceful energy they gave off had kept everyone calm through. The night suddenly alarms beeped. Red lights blinked on the screen. Omar shouted, unmarked objects entering lower orbit fast. Landing pods, Maya said, eyes wide. No Earth ID. That's Crixon. Valora moved fast. He's not waiting for answers. He's coming to take them by force. Power out just as the team was preparing their exit plan. The lights flickered. Then, everything went dark. The lab lost power. Screens shut down. Emergency lights glowed dim red. Aaron rushed to the control panel. They've cut our main power line. Probably a ground agent. Imani checked her device. Backup system is still working, but weak. We'll lose all sensors soon. We need to move the twins now, Valora said firmly. Many gathered outside. The research center. Some carried signs that said, "We want answers, and aliens don't belong here." But others held signs that read, "Protect the children. We stand with Malik." The local police tried to calm the people, but no one truly knew what was coming. Suddenly loud bangs echoed in the sky. A black pod landed on the outer edge of the cliffs. just a few hundred meters from the lab's hidden exit. The first contact has. Aaron's team moved through the tunnel. They heard a deep humming sound from above. Maya checked the scanner on her wrist.
Oh.
2 enemy life forms. Waiting near the exit? We'll have to go another way, Aaron said. There is no time, Valora replied. They will scan for the twins soon. She looked at Aaron. Let me go first. Before he could stop her, Valora stepped into the narrow stairway and climbed up toward the hidden exit door. She moved like a shadow, quiet and smooth. Valora versus Crixon's scouts outside. 2 tall nocturne soldiers in black armor stood guard. Their red eyes searched the area. One of them turned his head just as Valora appeared behind a rocky ledge. Valora, the taller one, said, "You were warned." "I was warned," she answered calmly, "but I do not fear you." They reached for weapons, but Valora moved faster. She kicked the shorter one in the leg and pushed the other into the rocks. A short, silent fight followed. No bullets, no screams, just sharp movements and quick strikes. Soon both scouts were unconscious. Valora signaled down the tunnel. "It's clear. Escape to the cliffs, Aaron," and the team carried the twins through the narrow path. They reached the cliff edge just as the sun began to rise. The orange glow touched the sea, making the moment feel both beautiful and dangerous. "We can go down the slope to the beach," Omar said. "There's a boat hidden there." "Will it work without power?" Maya asked. "Manual engine," he answered, "old-fashioned but strong." As they started down the path, a loud voice echoed through the air. "Crixon," Valora whispered. From a hovering pod nearby, Crixon's face appeared on a hollow projection above them. "You run like prey," he said, "but you cannot run forever. Give me the twins, Valora." "End this now," Aaron stepped forward. "They are not yours. They are not tools." Crixon's voice grew sharper. "You are too soft, human. You will destroy them with your weakness." Valora stood beside Aaron. "Then I will choose weakness over cruelty." Projection vanished. The light within the twins began to cry softly, sensing danger. Aaron held Lyra close. Valora held Orion. The calm glow from their eyes returned. And then, something new happened. A soft light burst out from them, not hot, not blinding, but warm and wide. It spread across the cliff like a bubble of peace. The birds stopped flying. The wind slowed. Even the angry hum of Crixon's pod faded. Every living thing in the area seemed to pause. Aaron felt his heart grow calm. So did Maya, Omar, and Amani. Even the 2 scouts who had woken up nearby sat quietly, their anger gone. Valora whispered their gift. "It's stronger now." Aaron looked at the children. "They don't fight hate with hate, they erase it." Small fishing boat cut through gentle waves just after sunrise. Orange light touched the sea, showing long shadows behind Dr. Aaron Malik and his tired friends. Valora steered while Omar checked a handheld radar unit every few seconds. In the middle of the boat sat a padded crate. Inside, Lyra and Orion slept, wrapped in blankets that smelled of salt and lavender. Their quiet breathing calmed everyone on board. Yet fear rode the wind. Above the water, the black nocturne warcruiser Varkesh still hovered in low orbit. Its outline glinted like a knife whenever clouds parted. Commander Crixon had paused his attack only because he studied the twins' strange wave of peace from the cliffs. The calm feeling disturbed him. He called it weaponless sorcery. But he also saw Earth citizens filming the event with phones and drones. Billions could now watch whatever happened next. Aaron leaned against the rail, eyes on the horizon. "We can't hide forever," he said to Valora. "Running only scares the town and gives Crixon excuses." Valora nodded. "The clan respects bold choices. If we show them our strength in daylight under Earth's own sun, they must face truth, not rumor." Maya pushed back strands of wind-blown hair. "But what truth? The 2 babies can make armies drop their weapons?" "People will call it trickery, and we need witnesses," Aaron answered. "Human witnesses, nocturne witnesses, and global media. Everyone sees the same sunrise, same miracle." Amani tapped a tablet whose battery showed only 10%. "EarthNet has open news channels begging for live interviews." They saw the peace pels on private feeds. They want statements. Aaron's mind raced. A public stand carried risk. Earth defense might seize control while Crixon might panic and strike. Still, secrecy was already broken. Half measures had failed. We play by open rules, he decided. No more darkness. We ask for a ceasefire meeting at dawn tomorrow on the public pier. Let cameras roll. Omar frowned. If any side fires, the pier becomes a trap. True, Aaron said. But the twins' gift works best where hearts can change. Hiding in tunnels won't end the fear. He bent over the crate and slid a finger between the blankets. Little Lyra gripped it in her sleep. Strength flowed through that tiny hand, soft yet unyielding. They deserve daylight. The ultimatum at noon, the Varkesh sent a broadband message across every open channel, military and civilian. Commander Crixon's pale face filled screens from New York to New Delhi. People of Earth, he proclaimed, you shelter fugitives who belong to the night. Surrender the hybrids by next sunrise or suffer disabling strikes on your coastal power grids. He emphasized disabling, not deadly, but the threat was clear. 30 minutes later, Earth Defense Command responded. Any hostile act against our grid is an act of war. We invite Nocturne leadership to a mediated discussion at 6 o'clock local time. Harbor Pier, neutral drones will record. No weapons larger than sidearms allowed. The stage was set. Night and day would meet on planks of old timber above the whispering sea. Building the circle, the boat returned to the hidden cove before dusk. Volunteers from the town waited, carrying flashlights, blankets, and flasks of hot soup. Mrs. Keller walked straight to the crate, tears in her gentle eyes. Little stars, she murmured, tucking a knitted cap on Orion's head. No one spoke. About fear. Action spoke louder, hands, passing supplies, shoulders lifting gear, on shore. Under Maya's direction, townsfolk and lab techs arranged soft lanterns in a wide circle on the pier. Inside that ring, they placed a small wooden platform just big enough for 2 adults and 2 infants. Omar installed speakers linked to an open media feed. Any journalist could log in remotely. Everything was transparent. Valora watched the preparations. In silence, last she said, your people build with light, not walls. My clan must see this. Aaron faced her. Will Crixon honor the no-weapon rule? He will, she replied, because millions of eyes will judge him if he breaks. Pride guides him as much as fear. Night talk's darkness fell. Stars glittered, reflected in calm water. The twins rested in a temporary nursery inside the dock warehouse. A soft hum filled the air, part lullaby, part protective shield created by their shared heartbeat. The adults gathered around a folding table to plan final details. Imani pointed. To a map, we station our volunteers along the shore, visible, unarmed. Earth Defense will stand farther back with stun rifles, but keep safety off unless fired upon. Drones hover overhead for neutral proof. Maya added medical packs here, here, and here. If anyone faints from the peace pulse, we help them up and keep going. Omar showed a tablet message. 3 Nocturne captains, independent of Crixon. Requests landing clearance. They wish to observe. Valora allowed herself a small smile. Some in the clan doubt endless war. They come to see the future, our children. Standing at the door, Aaron breathed deeply. Tomorrow decides so much. But remember, our task isn't to defeat Crixon. It's to invite him into the light. If he refuses, the world will choose for him. Father's promise, near midnight. Aaron sat alone beside the twins. Moonlight spilled through high windows. Lyra and Orion blinked sleepily, their eyes glowing bright around silver pupils. He spoke in a low voice but with steady courage. Your mother crossed galaxies to keep you safe. My friends risked careers and lives. Strangers knit hats and hung lanterns. All for 2 tiny hearts that beat together. Remember that kindness, little ones. Tomorrow we stand in the open because hiding would teach you fear. I won't teach you fear, Lyra cooed, Orion echoed. A faint pulse of warmth touched Aaron's chest. Tears rose, but he let them stay on as signs of love, not shame. Valora entered quietly and laid a hand on his shoulder. They hear you. In their own way, they understand. Aaron squeezed her fingers. And what do they say? Valora listened, eyes half closed. They say sunrise comes and we are not afraid. Outside, waves lapped the pier. Overhead, the shadow of the Varkesh drifted across the stars, still watching, still waiting. But on the ground, lanterns formed a glowing circle of hope, ready to catch the first beam of dawn and hold it steady for all to see. A pale band of gold touched the eastern sky. Waves slapped softly against wooden pilings under Harbor Pier. Lanterns, placed the night before, still glowed, but their light now mixed with coming dawn. Cameras on hovering drones blinked red, streaming the scene across Earth and far beyond. Dr. Aaron Malik stepped onto the pier first. He wore a white lab coat over a gray sweater, a symbol of science and peace. In his arms, he carried Lyra, still wrapped in her lavender blanket. Behind him walked Valora, holding Orion close to her heart. Maya, Omar, and Amani followed, each carrying medical packs or communication gear. They moved into the circle of lanterns and stopped on the small wooden platform at its center, behind a safety rope. Townspeople gathered, fishermen, shopkeepers, students, and elders. Farther back stood a line of Earth defense officers with stun rifles pointed down. Commander checked. A wrist timer, 5:59, 1 minute until the official start. A deep hum rolled across the water. Sleek black shuttle descended from the sky, its anti-grav engine stirring mist from the sea. The shuttle landed at the far end of the pier. Its ramp opened with a hiss. Commander Crixon emerged, flanked by 4 armored nocturne soldiers. His eyes, bright red under the sunrise, swept over the humans, the cameras, the lanterns, and finally the babies. 2 other nocturne captains stepped out behind him. They wore softer gray armor and carried no weapons. Their faces showed curiosity, not anger. The Earth commander spoke through a loudspeaker. All parties have agreed. No energy weapons, no hostilities. Any break of truce will be recorded and judged by Earth Council and Nocturne elders. Crixon answered with a cold smile. Agreed for now? He strode forward until he stood a few steps from the wooden platform. Return the children, Valora. The clan will raise them with knowledge and strength. Humans cannot guide what they do not understand. Aaron held Lyra tighter. We understand enough to know love, he said. His voice carried over small speakers. Set at the platform's edge. Love keeps them safe, not fear. Crixon's lip curled. Love is a thin shield. One of the great armored captains, a tall woman named Sarek, raised her hand. Commander, we came to witness, not to quarrel. Let us see their gift. The elders will judge afterward. Crixon glared, but Sarek's calm gaze did not waver. Cameras. Zoomed in, broadcasting every twitch. Valora stepped forward. Orion blinked awake in her arms. Its red gold eyes reflected both lantern light and sunrise. Let the children speak for themselves, she said softly. She lifted Orion so all could see. Aaron mirrored her motion with Lyra. The twins looked. At each other first, then at the wide circle of humans and Nocturne staring back. A hush fell. Even the waves seemed to slow. Orion reached a small hand toward Lyra. Lyra giggled a bright musical sound. A faint shimmer of warm light formed. Around them, like morning mist catching sun, the glow spread outward in a gentle wave. People inhaled sharply. Fear drained from tight shoulders. Angry lines on faces softened. Earth's soldiers loosened grips on their rifles. Crixon's own guards lowered their weapons a few centimeters, confused, but calm. The glow reached the townsfolk. Mrs. Keller, standing with a knitted shawl around her shoulders, felt tears in her eyes for no clear reason, only a great peace, as if long grief had melted. The wave reached Crixon last. His breath caught. Old memories flickered, training halls, iron discipline, nights of cold stars. Feelings he had buried stirred like seeds in new soil. He shook his head, fighting the calm. Trickery hissed, yet his voice lacked strength. Aaron took a careful step closer to him. Feel it, Crixon. This is not weakness. This is unity. Hold your hand out. Let Orion touch it. Crixon's gauntlet creaked as his fist tightened, then slowly opened. He extended his hand. Valora guided Orion's tiny fingers to the black armor. Child's skin met cold metal. A surge of warmth pulsed visibly through the armor, turning its glossy black surface to a softer gray for an instant. Ixaw's eyes widened. For the first time, he looked less like a commander and more like a person searching for answers. One of his soldiers, moved by the sight, unclipped his pulse rifle and placed it gently on the deck. The clatter echoed. Another soldier followed. Soon, every Nocturne guard had set aside weapons, forming a humble pile on the wooden boards. Gasps rose among the townspeople. A young fisherman started clapping. Others joined slow, uncertain at first, then louder, until applause filled the morning air. Drones overhead captured it all, enemies clapping together in shared wonder. Sarek turned to the Earth commander. We request joint custody and open study of the hybrids under protection of both species. Let this moment write a new treaty. Earth commander nodded, eyes wet. I will transmit that proposal at once. A single tear slipped down Crexon's cheek. He wiped it away quickly, but no mocking laughter came, only silence and a deep exhale. Looking at Valora, he spoke in a quieter tone. Perhaps I have been blind. Perhaps the night must meet the day halfway. Valora gave a small, hopeful smile. The clan can still be strong, Crixon. It's just strong in a different way. The sunrise finally cleared the horizon, bathing the pier in bright gold. Lanterns went pale under the flood of natural light. In that new brightness, Lyra and Orion laughed together, and everyone, human and Nocturne, soldier and scientist, old and young, felt the sound echo in their own chests, like a promise kept. Camera drones panned out, showing the wooden platform, the quiet weapons pile, the circle of lanterns now glowing softly in daylight. Headlines would soon race across every screen. Sunrise peace. Alien-human twins disarm two armies with a smile. But for those standing there, the headline mattered less than the simple. Living truth, the future had arrived, wearing knitted caps and tiny blankets, holding hands beneath one wide, welcoming sky. Golden light filled the sky above Harbor Pier. Reporters sent quick messages to every corner of Earth and to listening stations in deep space. But on the wide wooden planks, the mood was quiet, almost gentle, like a calm breath after long running. Commander. Crixon stood near the pile of weapons his soldiers had laid down. He studied the metal shapes as if they were fossils from an old world. Beside him, Dr. Aaron Malik rocked Lyra in his arms. Valora cradled Orion. The twins' soft glow had faded to a lighter shimmer, enough to soothe without overwhelming. Captain Sarek, the gray-armored Nocturne, who had asked for joint. Custodes stepped forward and spoke so that every microphone and eager drone could hear. Let this place be a bridge, not a border, she said. We request a council of equals, Earth representatives, Nocturne elders, and neutral scientists. Together we will guide these children and any hybrids who may come after. The Earth Defense Commander answered with a crisp nod. We accept. A temporary charter will form within 24 hours. Until then, this pier is protected under shared law. Anyone who breaks the peace will answer to both sides. A soft cheer rose from the crowd, relief more than victory. Yet not all faces showed joy. Some humans still feared fangs in the dark. Some Nocturnes still felt pride sting at lowered arms. Change always asked a price. Old beliefs must loosen their grip. A silent walk has officials drafted quick statements. In a makeshift tent, Aaron, Valora, and Crixon walked toward the end of the pier. Water slapped against barnacle-covered posts. Gulls circled overhead. Crixon kept his eyes on the horizon. When I first learned of hybrid children, I imagined monster Zor weapons. We breathed deeply. All I saw today were two laughing infants. Aaron's voice stayed calm. Fear paints strange pictures, Commander. Truth often looks smaller and kinder than our nightmares. Crixon gave a hard smile. A lesson I learned too late. His gaze slipped to Orion's tiny hand clutching Valora's coat. Will you teach them our tongue? Of course, Valora replied. They carry two cultures. They must honor both. Then I will send language crystals, Crixon said. And scholars who prefer pens to blades? Aaron offered his free hand. After a heartbeat, Crixon clasped it formal, but sincere. 2 cameras caught the handshake. Their images would travel faster than any ship. Messages across the planet by midday. News feeds filled with stories. Peace children stop. War vampire clan seeks cooperation to babies change history in classrooms. Teachers paused. Lessons to show the sunrise recording. Children watched enemies drop weapons without a shot. Many asked, why can't grown-ups always do that? Some governments reacted with caution, others with open excitement. A few extremist groups called the event a trick. Yet each time they replayed the video, their anger weakened under the twins' recorded laughter, a digital echo of the real gift. The council convenes that evening. Under strings of lamps hung by volunteers, the first hybrid council met inside the dock warehouse. Folding tables replaced fish crates. Tablets and translation screens covered nets once meant to catch tuna. Around the largest table sat Aaron. Wearing his worn lab coat, Valora, her silver hair tied back, eyes bright but tired, Crixon armor, polished clean. Helmet removed in respect, Captain. Sarek into civilian Nocturne Scholars, Mrs. Keller, representing the town's civilians. Earth Defense's commander. +2 UN science diplomats. Lyra and Orion lay nearby in a crib fashioned from a storage bin lined with quilts. They cooed, softly, curious about the many voices. First agenda, safety. The council agreed on rotating guardians, 1 human, 1 nocturne trained in child care, science, and simple defense. No guns inside 50 meters of the nursery. Second agenda, research. A joint lab would study the twins' physiology, but all tests had to be non-invasive and approved by both parents. Data would be shared openly. Third agenda, culture. Weekly story time, Earth Tales on Mondays, Nocturne Legends on Thursdays. Aaron smiled at that suggestion. Valora added a gentle nod. Midway through the meeting, Orion began to fuss. Aaron lifted him, but the child reached instead for Crixon. Surprised, the commander extended cautious arms. When Orion settled against the black-clad chest, a hush fell. Cameras clicked. The stern warrior cradling the glowing infant captured the moment more powerfully than any speech. Crixon's voice was low. He trusts. A hint of wonder threaded through his words. Yes, Valora said. Trust grows faster than fear if given light. A town transformed as past. The pier changed from a battle stage into a small research outpost. Earth carpenters and nocturne engineers worked side by side, building a bright clinic and a quiet meditation chamber with soft nightlights for the clan visitors. Tourists arrived by ferry, but strict rules kept crowds at a respectful distance. Local shops sold coffee to nocturne scholars, adjusting to daytime schedules. In return, the scholars taught children how to write their angular script on seashells. Omar installed public screens that looped a simple message in many languages. Peace begins when fear ends. Below, a timer counted days without violence. The number climbed, a promise under stars 1 month after the sunrise truce. On a clear night with no moon, Aaron stood on the beach with Valora. The twins slept together in a carrier slung between them, faint glow lighting their small faces. Above, constellations shimmered, Lyra and Orion among them. Valora whispered, Our children look up and see names that belong to both sky and story. That feels right, Aaron smiled. One day, they'll ask why stars have human names, why clan ships travel the dark, why war almost stole their chance to laugh. He brushed sand from his sleeve. We'll tell them truth, not to frighten, but to show how courage and kindness can meet in the middle. Farther down the beach, Crixon walked alone, pondering waves. He no longer wore full armor, only a light cuirass and a cloak. As he passed, he inclined his head. Dr. Valora. They returned the nod. No more suspicion, just steady respect. Aaron watched the commander fade into starlight. Think he'll stay? Valora answered, long enough to turn old oaths into new ones. She leaned her head on Aaron's shoulder. The twins stirred, then settled. A gentle hush covered shore and sea, broken only by quiet surf.